Hello, viewers at home. Thank you once again for tuning into Eswatini TV. And this is Mind Over Matter, a platform where we get to talk about real life issues that we face on a daily basis. Angihambing it from Mbukeli njengenjwayelo, ngihamba naye Zanele wakwaDlamini, who's a clinical psychologist in Mbukeli Tasita ngendzaba yanamuhla as we are talking about teenagers' mental health in the digital era. We know that a lot of things are digital these days, so we're going to break down the topic Leo Bukele kuva kabanzi ukuthi the insha yethu ilimala kangakanani when it comes to that. Zanele, I'm not going to say welcome back. Or I'm allowed to say it. Welcome back once
Yes,
again.
you can.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
It's good to have you again on
It's
the show.
always good to be here.
Because we know when we have you, you've got our back. Stop a solution.
Right.
So yeah, man, today my teenagers, this era, this is a digital era, man. A very fast one.
Yo,
Dangerous one,
absolutely.
and it's accessible to everyone.
To everyone.
Because in my car, there's Wi-Fi as well.
Yes.
But when we are talking about the teenagers' mental health in the digital era, what are we talking about?
So we are unpacking the state of mental health yelama teens in this era. Let's say too digitalized.
Yes.
Let me just take you back.
Yeah.
You know how COVID was just a game changer for everything and everyone, literally.
Yeah.
Before then, they would play with their peers, There was the day-to-day interactions. Remember, we are social beings. I keep saying that a lot.
Yes.
We need social connections with people. So now, COVID, everything in J is been cut, isolated. And then remember, when they were supposed to go back to school, online learning.
Yeah.
So now, they had to get my phones.
I remember that time.
Right?
It was a must to get that smartphones.
Absolutely. And then now, parents, because of the cost of it, data, they're now buying Wi-Fi. So now these kids, exposure to the internet at a very young age, because by then, from the age of 10, 11, now they have access to smartphones.
Yeah.
So the internet is a very, very dangerous place. And as much as there's good things, but there's very, very scary things, dark things that are happening there.
Yeah.
So this is how Lempo said, and then we have seen a rise in teen suicide rates. We are born like teens are suffering from depression, more anxiety, and it's all the influence of late digitalization, because remember the frontal lobe that is responsible for the reasoning and everything else, it's fully developed when Umumfo is 25 years.
Yeah.
Imagine now what that does to an 11-year-old who still has a long way to go.
Yeah.
So that is where the issue started.
Yeah. Talking about where the issue started, we also know that when you talk about digital, we're talking about social platforms as well. Apps good and bad ones. What can you say about that as a psychologist?
There's good and there's bad. There's learning apps on the phones which are good for our
kids a lot.
Yes. But also now they got to be exposed to social media.
Yeah.
We have got your Facebooks, your Instagrams, your TikTok. TikTok being the main culprit, when it comes to, I'm contributing to issues of mental health in TikTok.
Yeah.
And then you find most parents are not regulating their children's phones. They don't know what the kids are looking at. But these are deep platforms, and these kids, they are given this, these gadgets, and then they are like, no one is censoring what is going on there. So there's a lot of things that these kids are being exposed to.
Yeah. Talking about a lot of things. Even in these days, these kids see other kids having certain phones, they have certain handbags and stuff, and they want to match up.
Absolutely.
Because they see these things on the apps, especially the ones that you spoke about in TikTok as well. And they end up doing things that are very dangerous in order for them to bangene nabo kule level labanye. And my cases when it comes to teenagers now trying to commit suicide or even being body shamed at times, or wanting to change certain things because babona the apps that they see on the digital platform.
Social media has certain, standards, beauty standards, lifestyle standards,
Yeah.
When you have a case, throw my tantrums because parents refuse to buy them an iPhone.
Yeah.
You know how expensive an iPhone is because everyone online is using an iPhone
For proper pictures.
for proper
And
pictures.
just to trend.
Yeah,
'Cause-
right.
yeah.
I mean, we're not demonizing like what TikTok, you know. But they do these nice challenges where they are dancing, they are, you know, engaging physically,
Yeah.
which is good. But also, you know, asingathi kuhle kuphela nalolo kubi kukhona, and let us be aware of, you know, those, because those are the, you know, small demons that, you know, will creep into that. So, you know, there's this trends as well. Because umfana you know, makeva ngathi emotionally distressed, how to you know, help myself when I'm feeling emotionally distressed, you know. And then you find content I cut myself
To numb.
to numb what I'm
Yes,
feeling.
yes.
So Lemfana will take that as it is, and then they'll do that against Lemfana Seguba, the unhealthy coping mechanism.
Yeah.
So those are the challenges that we're meeting, because there is a lot of information that is available to these kids, and not all of it is good for them.
Yeah. But what can parents do to make sure they would see whatever my kid is doing, kulama platforms lawa, it's okay for her or for him as well?
I think parents need to be more involved. You know, um, they need to know what goes on in my phone in the
Yes.
because, you know, you can't trust umfana, you know, with such a big, you know, it's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
Because, for example, even with us, sometimes you feel the pressure, but you have to remind yourself, to know, man, this is social media.
Yeah.
People show you what they want you to see. It does not mean what's the reality
That really goes on.
that goes on,
Yeah.
you see.
And that one is tricky, Zanele, just to catch you, because nyalo umfana nakakhala njengoba usho ukuthi kadzeni they'll play with other kids. Nyalo umfana nje nakathi uyahlupha nikete licingo. You know, vele athule mbaba vele.
Yeah.
3-year-old. So yeah, you could see when nawufuna ukumthulisa, you just give the person a phone and everything is fine. Yabona ukuthi seku early.
Seku early now, and lapho ke ngithi ma culprits.
Yeah.
You know, we are now abusing the phones, you know, because, you know, as funi kwenda the hard work, you know,
Yeah.
phones have come with the quick solutions that people always want.
Yeah.
We don't want to, you know, do the right thing, because lo mfana udapheka umnika info as the way to, you know,
Yeah,
lo mfana
true.
loyo umfana lo ungakwadi receive a no. You
Yeah.
know, because every time akhala, you know, something is given to them.
Good
Now, so
side too.
ungasakhoni ke kumnika something, what happens
Then
then?
that becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we're going to talk more about that. Kundingi lesifuna ukukhulumisa. Mbukeli, you're still watching Mind Over Matter. Sikhulumisa indzaba lemcwa kakhulu nanamuhla njengoba sisho ke ukuthi siyasitana ukuthi ekugcine kwako konke sibe ne-solution. Lesithathe nje ikhefu mbukeli, emva kwalokho sizachubeka nehlelo ngayinzawo. Welcome back, Mbukeli. You are still watching Mind Over Matter. Solo mhleti naye Zanele wakadlamini, our clinical psychologist nanamuhla. Solo senda njalo Mbukeli. Siyasitana as we continue with the program. Zanele, as we are talking about lendzaba digital era, especially when it comes to teenagers age, sichazile ukuthi there's a good part of it of being in the social platforms, and there's really a bad part when it comes to that. Lesinye isikhathi bantwana bayafuna attention. But ngalo ukuthi sewunema likes lamaningi on the social platforms, you feel ngathi no, I'm validated. Yes, I'm this, I'm that. What can you say when it comes to that, the self-validation and also wanting attention from us parents?
Kusho kona ukuthi sike khona lokushodako ekhaya, you know, because as a sbatali, you know, we have to positively reinforce our kids, you know. We need to keep telling them, you know what, Mpanam, you're very beautiful, you're very smart. Yeah. But sometimes we just have to appreciate the effort. I see you're trying. Because if we don't give it to them, but talk to like social media, you know, oh, you know, people when they post pictures of them, maybe you know, dressed seductively, they get more attention.
True, that's very true.
Issue attention, but now they're going to look for, you know, the wrong kind of attention, and then I want for my likes, you know. But it's not solving the problem, because the mfana will keep, you know, with kids, they keep testing the waters, they keep pushing the boundaries. Oh, okay, I got likes, my next post should have more likes.
So I need to be
Do you understand?
even extra
and now they're exposing themselves to a very, very, dangerous, audience of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go deep on the dangerous thing and audience, because njengoba sisho ukuthi khona abakufundzako phindze
Yeah.
baphindze balimale on the very same platform. Ikhona ne-child pornography as well.
Yes.
Bagcine bangena isikhathi bangakatimisele
Yes.
and they find themselves in that.
Yes.
Can you dwell more on that?
The pressures, because labanye bamfana batakwenda loko, and then I'll be like, look what I did,
Yes.
and then now kids are easily influenced as well.
Yeah.
And also coming back to the issue of attention, these things, like the sexuality things, it gains a lot of, attention.
It does.
So it's a wrong kind of attention. So the exposure ikona to a point whereby in our therapy rooms, we are seeing a lot of kids who are addicted to pornography.
Yes.
At an early in our era, bekuma blue move,
yes.
right?
Yeah, I remember.
And it was, it was a taboo.
Yes.
But
nomundlula nje uma kwenda uyisinlethe ubukale immediately.
Or they kiss, you change the focus,
I remember.
because that's how it was for us. But with these kids, it's totally different. Datshela ukuthi umfana usakamana nodadisha kanti umfana ubusy ngephone.
Yeah.
And these things, they are very, very addictive. So we are seeing a lot of those trends, but also because it's a conale exposure of, to these kinds of things.
Yeah. But what can parents do? What can we do to intervene? Khona yini indlela yokuthi mhlambe when my child is on a certain app, it reports back to me, probably to make the situation with ingabi kanjena whereby they are in danger zone.
There is something parents can do. Kune application ya Google. It's called Family Link.
Yes.
So lomtali uba access to their child's phone through their phone.
Oh, okay.
So mawuthengele phone yemfana uyasho ukuthi, it's a child's phone, and then you link it to your phone. When you are able to limit their time, you are able to also filter content, because you parents, you can control the phone. You set nje ukuthi at this time ifone yemfana iyaqisha. If it curfew nje landlini ukuthi curfew umfana 8:30 sekuthi phone, you are able to set that through the Family Link app. And then you are able to control ema apps that lomfana can download on the phone. If nje awufuni abe nalamanye ema applications like TikTok, you restrict those from your phone as a parent. And then you're also able to check a browser.
Is it?
Yes, the history yalo mfana ukuthi umfanami wende kanje. I mean, as much as parents can do their part, kids are always smart. But also lomtali uba nawo ukuthi I've tried my everything.
Yeah.
Because vele siyafuna ukuthi abatali basibambise. It's a big responsibility, and these kids are very, very young.
Yeah.
And their minds are too small to handle that responsibility.
Yeah.
Sometimes. How much more the small
young
minds?
ones, I think now that we're talking about the danger zone in this era, the digital era, there's also this one that is trending currently, AI.
Yeah.
And people are going gaga about it.
Yeah.
And that is a dangerous one as well, because they see something which is not even there, because that thing is not in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with AI, as I said, there's good and there's bad.
Yeah.
With AI comes a ChatGPT, and one thing is that our teens are now getting attached to the ChatGPT, tawubhala akuphendvule angithi.
Yes.
Utobhala akuphendvule uyayibona, and it's always there. So it creates this certain illusion ukuthi, I have someone who's always there for me, and then it feels like they feel neglected, because when you won't always be there.
Yeah.
So it creates this illusion of perfection.
Yeah.
And it's highly addictive to these teens, because nangifuna kusho something, ChatGPT is there for me. So say in a way they are using it as a coping mechanism. Kanti that's not the whole point of labo ChatGPT.
Yeah. They're finding a solution there instead of now opening up, and that also it's
limiting them, to face my challenges, and just be out there and learn, because we learn from my challenges, we learn from the hard times. Yeah, but as I said, Nyalo, we want fast things. If I have a problem, I want a fast solution. So these things are easily available there, and ukanza ukuthi bamfa befuse baba too attached to that. Ukanza ukuthi namhla khona lengibhizi ngakho uyabo. Yes, I'm present, but today I can't be there for them at that given moment. because they will create another mentality entitlement. But when I want to talk, let's do it now.
Yes.
Okay, we can do this later. It gives that, let's do it now, because ChatGPT, gives me my needs now.
And everything, the answers that I want exactly as I want them.
Now. And it's artificial intelligence. It's not organic, like, the conversations that you will have with your mom or your dad. Also, when distressed, a hug from your mom, it does so much. Maskuluma, and then mom will grab your hand, or dad will grab your hand. You understand all of those things. So those are the certain nuances that artificial intelligence can never take away from, the human connection.
But do you think we're going to get to a point where the bullying happening in the platforms, and also the body shaming, all the things, the bad things that are happening, do you think we're going to get to a point where the kids understand, we're going to say, this is my limit, I can only go this far, besides the parents being there and probably monitoring what they need to do and what not to do?
I don't think so, because on their own they can't.
Yeah.
Include responsibility. So when they just take it how it is, how they interpreted it, because as you're saying, Sissy, umtali vele is there to guide, But okay, Sissy, social media, this is what you can expect. This is what's good. This is what's wrong. You've done your part as a parent. But now as umtali, it's not like you just gave the responsibility to someone else. See what you do with it, because it's a very dangerous thing to do.
Yeah, man. We're gonna go for an ad break again. But there's this other part because in also told a 2-year-old on a page like. And now sometimes when I'm food in my comments, which bad scene man for opportunity. You're still watching Mind Over Matter. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You are still watching your number one program. It is Mind Over Matter. We're doing an amazing job with her. Before we went for an ad break, I did mention in as much as we need to monitor the kids, but who monitors us? Because we told a 2-year-old on a page like him. Zanele said you're beautiful. Zanele said she likes your hair. No, because I mean, kusho bafunza onke lama comments, good or bad. Lo mfana affecta kanjani yonke le information. Nalokuthi nje bad ukuthi everyone else is saying I'm beautiful out there. Mhlambe la khaya akutholi sokuthola ngema likes and the comments lesibafunzela bona as parents.
So well, I mean, it's nice to be told, good things about you. But we worry about self-worth yalo mfana. Uyabona ukuthi lo mfana loyo self-worth yakhe angakhuli identify with only their physical appearance, because there is more to it, to a person, than just physical, We want them to akhule intact with their self-worth for who they are as a person. Not just because I'm told I'm beautiful. What about on days when you don't feel beautiful?
You know what I mean? Yes.
So are you going to feel less worthy of a person? But in in as much as some parents do it for good reason. They do it maybe innocently.
Yes.
Some do it for their own,
for the parents,
for themselves. Some
parents.
people live through their kids.
Yeah,
because I never had this kind of childhood, but I want to have it through my child. But traumas abo, and it's there's a thin line, because also there's none about child porn. You find they are saying, what, my child's picture is being used in a child pornographic page.
I don't know about it.
Exactly, where you find pedophiles, umuntu is up there masturbating nesithombe semfana akho. So there's also that issue with exposing the bamfana at a very young age, and the exposure at a very young age to these big masses. Lo mfana asifuni ukuthi akhule athi ukuthi i-validation yakhe uyithola ebamfini. We want umuntu ukuthi athi validate yena, and then the internal one, and then you know the external. It's nice, it's good,
Yeah.
but it won't always be there. So what happens then?
When the validation from outside is
It's
not
not there. Yeah. So that's why we want to look at the internal one, because umuntu uyakhona ukuthi control yena.
Yeah,
It's not every day you wake up feeling beautiful.
Yeah, there are days where you don't.
Right? But it doesn't take anything away from you as a person. Angifuni ukuthi umuntu on a day whereby avuka angadiva amuhle khona asabe face the world,
Yeah.
because that's all they have to offer. That's what they think. That's all I have to offer.
Yeah.
My beauty. That's why we find people, going extra miles, to change their appearances, because khona le mfundo eshodayo. Yeah.
Talking about that, ngimaphi ama cases mhlambe leniba nawo when it comes to your work of line. La beva khona ama cases kuthiwa my child so ufuna ukudishintsha noma akasadli because ufila so fat agcine sekagula because of that, so cause about depression and
Yeah.
cause other illnesses.
Yeah, the beauty standards, and it's, I mean, everything, Western, and it's,
Yes.
it's the Western world, imposing ema beliefs abo, ema standards abo on us. Kanti nje, on its own, African women, they are full figured.
Yes.
They are voluptuous.
And that's beautiful.
And that's who we are as
Yeah.
people. But then, we find a lot of Emma trends, Emma standards, as Western, ways. They have like slimmer bodies. So can the over us, hi, I'm not good enough, So will create eating disorders, because umfana wants to fit into that standard.
Yeah.
So these things we have to bring it back to an African context. We had a trend whereby people were now doing BBLs.
Yes.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
everyone wanted to be slim, now everyone want
yeah,
to be
but
big again.
so that's the thing, because this trends ayashintsha, and uma ufuna ngabe le stability who are they as a person, they are easily swayed.
Yeah. And accept themselves.
And accept themselves and love
because
themselves.
Yeah. Basically, before you get the likes, you need to like yourself first and say I am beautiful.
Because in social media, this is what's acceptable, this is what's in.
And you do it.
Right?
And you do it again and they're like, no, we don't like your pictures anymore.
Yes.
We want something else. And then
Yes.
you go, yeah, man, it's something else. But Tinje, as a psychologist, what is it that one word probably, or not even one word, what is that in terms of this digital era? Because it's a difficult one.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, you can say a person is doing homework.
Yeah.
If you not do your homework and so when they're what words can you give them? Because we are a community, we're building each other here.
Sisekuqala ngathi nje. Ngathi sibatale sometimes nathi we get lost kulama phones ethu.
Hey, we do.
So we need that self-awareness, because you know what, I need to regulate the amount of screen time that I spend, because kada sengisefonini mina bamfana uyabo. So if ngisefonini bamfana una ngathi it's acceptable.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So let us create more time to be present. Uyabona. Sibuyele ngadzeni, and play with the kids. And validate them, tell them we love them, tell them how beautiful they are, tell them how worthy they are, because they need to hear these things on a daily basis, especially from the parents.
Yeah.
Because growing up, our parents are our heroes. So when you hear that from them, yeah.
True.
So that your parents' voice is louder than the people out there.
Very true.
Yeah.
And it becomes louder.
Yes.
Very louder.
Yeah.
Zanelia,
Hi.
it's been good. We've learned a lot. And thank you so much for your time. Sethembe ukuthi udawuqhubeka uside sisitane sibambisane nalabanye badala sisasida bamfabethu ukukhula nokuthi bagcine bonke baphumelele. Siphile sonke sibe right. At the end of the day, that's what you want, right?
Right.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
I know I'll see you again. Don't be a stranger here. Really, that was Zanele Dlamini, our clinical psychologist. Teenagers namuhla, especially with the digital era. It's a very dangerous one. The good side of it and also a very dangerous side of it. And make sure that you monitor them and see when they are on their phones so that everyone can be safe.